Hello everyone, this is the public information meeting presentation for an application for a land use bylaw map amendment or rezoning of a portion of 7015 Highway 1 in Colebrook. My name is Perry Bowman and I am the planner assigned to this application. Murdoch Mackenzie is the applicant and Councillor Bob Best is the councillor for District 6. So the purpose of this slide deck is to inform the public of the application, to explain the planning policies that enable this application to occur, and to receive preliminary feedback. Noting that no opinions have been formed on the application at this time and no decisions have been made. I will note that this slide presentation recording has been made after the public information meeting date. So this is the land use bylaw map amendment process. It starts with the municipality receiving a completed application. Following that, there's a public information meeting held. Prior to that meeting, notices are sent to properties within 500 feet of the subject site. Following the public information meeting, the application is referred out to any other bodies with jurisdiction. For example, the road authority is the Department of Public Works, so the application is sent to them for comment. Following the staff review, a report is put together and a recommendation is made to the Planning Advisory Committee. The Planning Advisory Committee then forwards a recommendation to the full Municipal Council at first reading, where the full Municipal Council will vote as to whether to authorise a public hearing. Prior to a public hearing, again, properties within 500 feet of the subject site will be notified. And following the public hearing, there is second reading where the full Municipal Council will make a decision on the application. And following that decision, there is a 14-day appeal period. So, in respect to the proposal, the applicant has applied for a land use bylaw map amendment to rezone a portion of this site, so 1.94 acre portion of the subject property, to rezone it from the heavy industrial M2 zone to the light industrial commercial M1 zone to permit the development of a retail store. So this is a map of the County of Kings with the red circle indicating the approximate location of the subject site within the community of Colebrook. Image of the subject site, which is outlined in red. I will note that the Scotian Gold Cooperative Limited business extends across another parcel of land to the north. However, this application only applies to the land outlined in red on the screen. The whole of 7015 Highway 1 is 18.57 acres in area, and the portion of the site proposed to be rezoned is outlined in yellow and is 1.94 acres in area. The site is located on the northern side of Highway 1 with approximately 1,700 feet of street frontage. The applicant has advised that the buildings currently located in the area proposed to be rezoned will be demolished and new development will take place in that area. The Harvest Moon Trail runs along the northern boundary of the site, and on the southern side of Highway 1 there are a range of commercial and residential uses. This is a zoning map of the subject site. The subject site is currently covered by two zones. The light grey or purple triangle is the M1 or light industrial commercial zone, while the darker grey represents the heavy industrial M2 zone. The site is surrounded by a number of other zones, including the general commercial C1 zone, which is the red colour. Then we have the mixed commercial residential C3 zone, which is the lighter yellowy green. Then we have the commercial recreation P1 zone, which is the solid green. Then we have the residential 1 and 2 unit R2 zone, which is the kind of pale pinky colour. And then we have the residential mixed density R3 zone as well, which is the light yellow colour at the southern side of the site. The site is also partially covered by the Kentville Wellfield overlay. This is the future land use designation map. The site and the land directly to the north are in the industrial designation, shown in orange. The land in red is the commercial designation, and the land in yellow is the residential designation. The designation identifies what the general intent of the land is and what the land can be used for, and if changes are proposed to be made, what those changes can be. Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 3.3.3 states that all industrial zones are permitted within the industrial designation, meaning the municipal planning strategy does not prohibit the rezoning of the land from the heavy industrial M2 zone to the light industrial commercial M1 zone if all other policy components are met. A hypothetical map showing what the rezoning would look like if this application is approved. So we have the existing M2 or heavy industrial zone outlined in dark grey, and then we have the existing area of M1 in the triangle portion with the new 1.94 acres attached to its western boundary. So the total area of M1 on the site, if this application is approved, is 6.3 acres in size. So this is an image of the site standing in the car park looking north, looking at the building that will be demolished if this application is approved. This again is looking north from a slightly different angle. So Highway 1 is also behind me in the photo taken. This is looking south at the rear of the building that is proposed to be demolished. And this is looking at the side of the building proposed to be demolished. So, in respect to the enabling policy, the Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 5.3.3 states that Council shall consider amendments to any one of the zoning maps of the land use bylaw provided the application is for a specific development, and point A is to rezone the land to another zone enabled within the same designation unless the zone change is specifically prohibited within the strategy. So as discussed before, the site is within the industrial designation, and the industrial designation allows for all industrial zones within it. So further to that, Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 5.3.5 states that Council shall consider in relation to all applications to rezone land, point A, the applicable zone placement policies, point B, the impact of both the specific development proposal and of other possible uses permitted in the proposed zone, and point C, the general criteria for amending the land use bylaw set out in section 5.3, development agreements and amending the land use bylaw. So in respect to the zone placement policy, which related to point A of the previous slide, Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 3.3.1 states that Council shall establish the following industrial zones in the land use bylaw. In relation to the light industrial commercial zone, lands within this zone are intended to recognise and provide for the development of industrial uses with light impact. The light industrial commercial M1 zone will also permit development of non-retail commercial uses serving the industrial sector, as well as commercial uses requiring large areas of land for outdoor storage, outdoor commercial displays or warehousing. So this is a comparison between the uses permitted in the heavy industrial zone versus the proposed light industrial commercial M1 zone. The heavy industrial zone is considered a higher intensity zone where the uses permitted are considered to have the potential for higher impact. In proposing to change to the light industrial commercial zone, we lose the ability to use the land for uses in yellow, but gain the option for the uses in orange, which are considered to be lower in impact. So we lose the option for uses on the land of animal byproduct plants, fish and seafood processing, fish farms, forest industry uses, holding yards, salvage and scrap operations, sanitary services, and waste transfer stations, but we gain the ability to have the following uses: automotive sales and rentals, business offices, drive-in movie theaters, dry cleaning facilities, education facilities, funeral homes, goods and services, shops, outdoor commercial display, parking lots, retail stores, veterinary clinics, wildlife rescue and rehabilitation centres. So, moving forward to Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 5.3.7 and the general criteria needed to be considered when we're looking at rezoning a piece of land. We have to consider the following criteria, but I will note again that the County of Kings is not always the body with jurisdiction, and in these cases we would refer the application out for further comment. So we need to consider if the intent of the municipal planning strategy is met. Does the proposal conflict with any municipal provincial programs, bylaws or regulations? Would there be any financial impact on the municipality? Are there any land use compatibility issues as a result of the proposal? Is there adequate proximity of schools, recreation, community facilities within the area? Does the proposal create any traffic hazards or congestion? In this case, the assessing authority would be the Nova Scotia Department of Public Works. Is there adequate fire protection services and equipment available? Again, we would be consulting with the Kentville Fire Chief. Is there adequate sewer and water services available? So in regards to sewer, the County of Kings provides sewer services, but the Department of Environment is the authority having jurisdiction over well water. Is there potential for flooding or serious drainage problems? Is there any negative impacts on neighbouring farming operations? And is the site suitable for the proposal? Once again, we started with a completed application, which was followed by a public information meeting. Following that, there is a staff review of the application in which any bodies with jurisdiction are contacted for comment. Following that, the application is presented to the Planning Advisory Committee, who will make a recommendation to the full Municipal Council at first reading. At first reading, the full Municipal Council will determine as to whether to authorise a public hearing for the application. Prior to a public hearing, properties within 500 feet will be notified. And following the public hearing, there is a second reading where the full Municipal Council will make a decision on the application. And following that, there is a 14-day appeal period. So if anyone has any questions or comments regarding the application, they can contact me, Perry Bowman, at 902-690-6150 or at pbowman@countyofkings.ca.